Hey everyone. It came up in conversation recently. What were some things that were really essential, you thought were really important to have on your RV that didn't maybe necessarily come standard on your RV that you would do as an add-on? So one of the things for us that was really important was getting some kind of additional surge protection or power conditioning, something aside from the surge guard that comes on the coach, which is kind of a misleading name because it's not really a surge protector. It is just a transfer switch. So anyway, we could save that for another day. But what we're going to talk about today is the Hughes Autoformer that we added to our coach and how we actually installed it so it's more of a permanent installation on our coach. So let's check it out. All right, so here we are in our electrical bay. This is our surge guard, of course, that came installed on our Tiffin Allegro RED. And this is the Hughes Autoformer. This is the funnel that I use for adding def. This is our Hughes Autoformer. It is a surge protector and a voltage regulator, conditioner, however you want to call it. The thing we really liked about this particular unit is the surge protection feature on it is actually replaceable. So if you have a surge and it goes out, you don't have to replace the whole unit, which is fairly pricey. You can just replace the actual surge protection portion of that. So that was a big deal for us. Now this unit is intended or made to be just an inline addition to your power source. So your plug, instead of plugging to the pedestal, your plug from your RV would plug here, and then this plug coming out here would be what you'd plug into the pedestal. So then this would be in between those two things. And that's a fine way to do it. We decided that because we had seen so many people using these and having them chained up outside or having some kind of locking mechanism or something like that, and we didn't really want to have to mess with that. So I talked to our friend John Bohannon over at Freedom Mobile RV Service in Red Bay, and we came up with the idea that we would figure out a way to install this so we could keep it in the electrical bay. That way, once we're hooked up, then we lock the electrical bay and everything's safe. So what we did is we added this. Normally this cord coming out of the surge protector would be your power cord. What we did is we purchased an additional pigtail, so it wired in here, and then on the other end of it, it was this plug. So then basically what we have is a plug, just a short power cable coming out of our surge protector, surge guard transfer switch, instead of our full power cable. What we did then on the end of this cable, which is what's plugged to the pedestal, this is our full power cable, we took that end and we just made it a plug. So it's an outlet now. So we plug this into the pedestal, which gives us power to this outlet. So then we can plug our surge guard, and then that gives us power to the coach. So if we want to add in our Autoformer, all we do is we plug this plug into our Autoformer, and then the Autoformer into our outlet over here. So then that just adds it into the chain, I guess, if you want to call it such. So then that way we can use it when we want to or not when we don't want to. We've had a couple people tell us that they've heard that these units will boost the power about 2% whether you need it or not, which could cause some issues if you were somewhere where you were already getting 130, 134 volts, something like that. It could push you up into something that could be damaging to some of your electronics and stuff. So until we confirm that with Hughes, we've only been using it when we've needed the power boosting. We're plugged in at home right now, and we have a pretty stable source of power here at home, so we're not using it. So we're just plugged directly into the surge guard at this point. So that's pretty much how this works. So then we have this all inside. We can lock up our compartment once we're set up, and everything is safe. So the only other thing we added, and I'll show you that in just a minute, are a couple of voltmeters inside the coach, so that we could read our voltage, so we'd have a way of knowing whether we needed this little guy or not. So let's go inside and take a look at that. All right, so here we are inside our coach now. Thankfully, it's a whole lot quieter than outside. These are the 2 voltmeters we had installed. John and I chose to install them here because the easy access to our power. This is our fuse panel here with all of our main fuses and stuff. This is the spider control panel. We put them here so that we could, we wouldn't have to run any extra wires or anything. We could just get straight to what we needed and get the information we needed. So these, basically, we just cut holes, they pop in, you attach them as per the instructions, and it's pretty easy to do. These were actually fairly inexpensive. I think they came from Amazon. I can probably give you a link to those if anyone is interested. And these just gave us an additional level of knowledge so that we could have an idea if we were having some kind of power problem or something going on that could be related to low voltage or high voltage or something like that. We'd have a pretty good idea because what previously came on the coach when we purchased it was pretty much nothing. We had an indicator whether we were plugged in or we weren't, whether we were getting power or we weren't. And that was pretty much it. This gives us a little more feedback so we know kind of what to do if we're trying to troubleshoot a problem. Or as in this case right now, whether we're trying to decide whether or not to use our Autoformer. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video and it was at least somewhat informative, or maybe if nothing else entertaining. This was my first attempt at a how-to video, so don't laugh too hard. Thanks again for tuning in, and we hope to see you guys on the road. Happy trails.